everybody, and welcome to another video on my channel. In today's video, I am going to be talking about my 2020 planner and journal plans, what I plan on using, and kind of just going into a little more detail about the things that I'm using. So the biggest change, and you could probably already see, is that I am going A5 for 2020. I, in the past, have always used standard size traveler's notebooks, and I, for the past 2 years, have wanted to go A5 and never found exactly what I was looking for. So I made a point to find exactly what I was looking for well in advance so that I didn't have to worry about it. So for my planner, I am using the MUJI academic planner, I guess. This is the same layout as like the Traveler's Company, with the week on one side and then the grid on the right. And I love this layout. It works very well for me, and I think I'm going to maintain this for probably ever, just because I love the layout of being able to put a quick synopsis of my week on one side and then notes or journaling or memorabilia, stickers, stamps, anything else that I might come into contact with during that week on this side. It turns into kind of like a little scrapbook, and I really like it. So in the beginning, it's got your month on 2 pages, and you can see that I have already decorated a little bit of December, and then I have stamped in January. And then I have started to kind of play around with my pages. I haven't maintained this a whole lot in December. I will go back and fill this in, but I have been working strictly in my December journal. And this is just like my personal journal that I have my journaling and stickers and stamps and photos. It's kind of like my December daily project, but this is what I have been strictly working in for the month of December. And then at the end of the month, I will kind of come in and just quickly like come in and fill out this. I really want to focus on this because if I pull away from this project and put my time and effort into something else, I may not come back to this and I may not finish the project, and this is way more important to me than this, because these journals I pull out every year and we go through them as a family and look at them and just reminisce. This less much so. If I ever pull my planner out ever again, it is just for like if I have to go back and check something. So this is less of a memory keeper, and this is. So this project is much more important. So anyway, moving on. This is the notebook that I will be using for my archive system. This is what I plan on archiving our lives in, and it just becomes something that I kind of put away and leave it be for once it's finished. And I don't know if you've seen, but I have gone through and stamped a couple of the pages with the Traveler's Company stamp caravan. I had the opportunity to go to a second one here in Florida and just decided to stamp a couple of my 2020 pages. So that's what I'm using for this whole planner system, and I love this. And then I will be using just regular A5 inserts. So I've got a couple that I can choose from. I did acquire this Chic Sparrow leather cover, and I think I talked about it before in a previous video. I just don't think that this can be my everyday carry. This is just so heavy and bulky. It's meant to hold quite a bit of notebooks. You can see that there are 4 elastics, and you can easily put 2 or 3 notebooks on a single elastic. So this is meant for a much bulkier setup than I prefer. So right now I've just got it holding my empty inserts. I've got a Sunny Sunday grid insert, and then I've got a few MUJI grid inserts in here that I want to kind of be able to choose from throughout the year. So I always have, like, I've got my stock of inserts that I will need for the year. And then these two things are new. I stumbled upon them at IKEA, funnily enough, and they had A5 notebooks, and in the notebook it came a writing board, which I absolutely love because it is blank. It's not grid or lined, which I love, but I love having the option to be able to journal with straight lines. So I thought this was a really nice touch, and it is stitched. I love stitched notebooks, and there are 40 pages in this, so this will last for quite a bit of time. I did do a pen test right here, and very little ghosting or bleed through. The Tombow did a little bit, and then my fountain pen kind of bled through a little bit, but overall I feel like the quality of the paper is pretty good. I don't really use my Tombow or my fountain pens a whole lot. When I do use them, it doesn't super bother me if there's any type of ghosting or show through. I'm just not one of those people that gets bothered by it. It doesn't completely soak through the paper, which would bother me, but this doesn't. So the paper is pretty decent quality. I had the wrapping for this and for this cover, and I filmed a video already about this and lost the footage, so I don't have the wrapping or the name or anything. So I'm kind of frustrated about that, but I did get them at IKEA, so you could find them in like their small stationery gift wrap section. But this is just a cloth A5 cover, and it did not have labeled on the outside A5 cover. It just had the measurements on the outside, like the dimensions, which I believe were 9x6. And I did Google before I left to make sure that the dimensions that were listed on the packaging were proper A5, and they are. So the insert that I have in here is the A5 MUJI insert, which is the one that I want to start 2020 with. And the reason that I love this, first of all, it's very thin. It's very lightweight. I'm not going to have a whole lot of bulk carrying this around. I don't feel the need to baby this like I would if I had a fine quality leather cover. I would be less likely to want to leave the house with it. This I'm not upset about over at all. I don't recall how much it was exactly, but I believe the notebook was like $2 or $3, and I think this cover was $5. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. And it is stitched. You can put stuff in here. There's not pockets, but it is a folio style cover. And another thing that I really truly appreciate about the design is the fact that the bookmark is not in the spine. The bookmark is at the back of the book, so that it comes out in not like way back over here. It's not going to be pulling on the spine of my pages, and that's something that always bothered me, is that the spine of my pages right here is always torn and bent, and it's just really messed up because of the bookmarks. And this I don't think I will ever have an issue with, because it comes from behind the cover and it comes down through this part of the paper. And so I just really appreciated that. I didn't know that that was something that I wanted or needed or liked until I saw this and realized, holy macaronis, I love this idea. I think this is very nice. The inserts fit in it very nicely. It's very snug. It's very secure. It's not moving around a whole lot. And it does have this elastic closure on the front, so I don't have to worry about anything falling out or coming loose or anything like that. So I really like that. And then if I wanted to, I could just easily clip my pen to this and be done with it. And I typically do this a lot anyway. So this is fine for me. I love this design. And yeah, I just really, really am excited to go A5 this year. I love the fact that this is so simple and it didn't cost me a lot of money. I tend to be a little on the frugal side when it comes to things for myself because, you know, I just like to be mindful about the things that I buy and not just to buy things just to buy them. And I did not find the exact style leather cover that I wanted. I wanted a comparable leather to Traveler's Company. I like that brand and that style because it's not showboaty. It's very simple, it's very basic. It's just a slab of leather with a single elastic in it intended to hold one notebook. And I wasn't able to find anything with the leather and the style and design that I wanted, and realized that maybe the folio would actually work better for me just because this notebook that I'm using is quite thick. You can see it's an entire year in one, and I feel like if I try to put an elastic through the middle of this book right here, it's gonna pull. This book is quite heavy. If I have an elastic in here, it's gonna create like a bubble and a crease when I'm trying to use it. And I just feel like if I had, if I'm using just two simple notebooks like this, if I'm carrying this around, which won't ever be the case, this will strictly stay on my desk and this will be traveling around with me. I don't know, I just gravitated towards this a little bit just because of the simplicity of the design and the fact that I don't have to baby it. I don't have to fear losing this. You know, with my Traveler's Company leather covers, I fear losing those and I fear damaging them, and I don't have that fear with this. So anyway, moving on. That is my plan for 2020, is just using A5. I have shown you the supplies that I intend to use, and I like, you know, what I've got going on here. This style suits me. It gives me a lot more room to play. The entire reason that I wanted to move over to A5 was because I needed more room. You know, I feel like with A5, I've got a lot more space. I can add photos to my journaling now, whereas before I really couldn't. If I wanted to put any journaling or ephemera in, there really wasn't any extra space to put photos in the standard size. And so now with an A5 size, I can very easily add the amount of journaling that I want, the amount of ephemera that I want, and the amount of photos that I want. And I think that's really important. I worked in this Midori A5 calendar this year, and I really loved having the extra space to play in this particular notebook, which pretty much sealed my fate when it came to you know, deciding what size I wanted to use for 2020. Although I didn't use this to its entirety for the intended purpose of the notebook, I did enjoy the size, and it is the reason why I wanted to go A5. So that, I think, is pretty much it. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I will link a few videos for you guys. There is a process video for this, and then I believe there's also actually a process video for this particular notebook where I was journaling for our like Christmas weekend or whatever. So I will link a couple videos if you're interested in what I've done so far in my A5 notebooks, so that you can see if it's something that will continue to interest you. I know a lot of my subscribers are here for my Traveler's Notebook content, and unfortunately I won't be using that system at all in 2020 unless, of course, I do any traveling, and then that system will come back into play. I intend to strictly use the Traveler's Notebook system for my trips and my travels, because it is a suitable system for traveling. So If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. And that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks. Bye.